Hi there, super friends. Master Legend here at the Ghetto Kitchen. I've had a few requests of people asking me how I make my Master Legend brand Old Western Trail beef jerky. Well, I'm going to tell you how it's done. And I'm doing this a different kind of way with pictures and me talking because, well, anyway, it takes a while to make this beef jerky. And it doesn't take that long, but you might want to think about investing a good 7 hours into making the beef jerky. And it'll come out good. This is the way to do it in the oven. So let's start off. The first thing you want to do, here's another one of the legend secrets for you. You want to cut some meat up, unless you get the butcher to do it for you. I like to use sirloin steak. And, well, what you do is you put it in the freezer and let it get good and cold to where it gets a little bit stiff, okay? Then you can cut it real easy. You try to do it when it's all defrosted. Be struggling with it. Won't get good cuts. But you try Master Legend's technique. Just kind of have it kind of hard from cold freeze. Not too much, though, where you want to be able to cut it. You'll be cutting it like a chef. Like Master Legend, Chef Master Legend. Okay, so then, when you do that, you cut up your strips. How much beef jerky you want to make, it's up to you. You know, I suggest if you're going to do it, you might as well make a good, enough for you to make it worth your while, you know. So, one good sirloin steak I would suggest to start off with. Now, here's what I do. You get the Dale's seasoning. That's D-A-L-E-S seasoning. You can get the low-sodium one, too. Some people won't need as much salt. You can get the low-sodium brand also. You go ahead and you get your Dale seasoning and pour some in the bowl. Put your meat in the bowl. That way you know exactly how much Dale seasoning to put in. Then you don't put it all the way to the top because you got to add a little soy sauce. All right? And then I like to add a little touch of A1 sauce. Then I got a special secret ingredient. But then again, you can go ahead and add a little bit of honey to it also. All right? Now you mix that all up with some cayenne pepper if you feel like it. It's up to you. You can add other things if you like. Some people like to put a little ginger in there. You know, that's good too. See, once you start experimenting, you'll come up with your own secret blend. But there's the basics. Some people go with Worcestershire and soy sauce, but Dale seasoning saves you all the trouble. It's got this garlic and everything in there, and it's really good. So, okay, so you marinate your beef jerky that's sliced up for at least 3 hours. 3 hours is pretty good. Some people go overnight, but I think that will overpower the flavor too much. I've done it before, and it seemed to be a little bit too salty. And if you don't like it too salty, you can always add a little water to the marinade. You let that sit for 3 to 4 hours, and then when you get ready, you get your oven ready. Okay, you get your oven preheated to 175 or 180. In between those is good. That's good temperature. Okay, then you get one of them pans. This is what I use. And it's got the holes in it. It's got holes all in the pans. You got all kinds of other type of utensils you can use, but that's what I use. It's a baking pan that's got holes all in it. That way the air will circulate all the way through. And then on the bottom, I'll line up some tin foil so the drippings won't get in the oven itself. It'll drip on the tin foil into the other rack. So you put the beef jerky on the rack, lay it all out nice and smooth, and none overlapping one another. Just make sure they're all nice and flat. And then you go ahead and you put the beef jerky in the middle rack, and then you have your bottom rack where you have your drippings catching tinfoil. All right? Then you go ahead and you shut the oven door. But here's the secret, another secret. You got to put a spoon or something there. That way you keep the oven door with a little bit of a crack in it. You'll see the picture. I demonstrate it. And you put that little crack there. That way moisture doesn't stay in the oven. You want it to all, the steam and all to go out of the oven, but you leave it just a really small crack. That's all you got to do. And depending upon how much you got there, you can anticipate on 3 to 4 hours in the oven at that slow rate. About halfway through, you want to flip them. Turn them all over. That way, it'll get cooked evenly. And, well, that's pretty much all there is to it. And once it's done, you could always, you could put pepper flakes in the marinade, or you could sprinkle a few pepper flakes halfway during the cooking time. It'll stick. Some people like a little pepper, some don't. And then after that, once you know it's done, you check it out. You make sure it's cooked through and through. And it'll look kind of black. And it'll be all shriveled up, and you don't want to overdo it. Make sure it's still a little bendable. You don't want it so crispy it's going to just crack and break your teeth. You don't want that. You'll get the hang of it. So then you just keep checking. It won't hurt nothing to open the oven door and give it a check. Make sure it's getting well done, cooked well done. I like to leave some fat on it too, because I tell you, when that fat shrivels up and has that flavor in it, it's really good. It really has the flavor. After that, I turn the oven off, and I'll shut the door then when I know all the moisture's out of it. And I shut the door on the oven and let it warm, stay in the warm oven. The oven will cool off. And then after that, you go and grab you up some beef jerky, and it's ready to eat. Good stuff. And that's how I make it. It's pretty simple. Some people use dehydrators. I've used dehydrators too, and that works too. Either way works pretty good. I don't know which one's my favorite. I kind of think the oven is, because you don't have to go buy a dehydrator then. So anyway, there's Master Legend telling you how to make the old Western Trail beef jerky. And believe me, all your friends will love it. They'll be eating it up before you could even get any. I know, because that's how they always do me. Back in Florida, that is. Out here, well, I got it all to myself. So, see you later, super friends.